Alrighty. Here we go. Doctor TGIF, thank God it's Friday. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And since it's Friday, it's like some of us are probably having our adult beverages at this point. So just remember, traders, be careful with the ice that you use in your drinks. You never know. That's what gives you those headaches the next morning. It's the ice. It's what's in the water there. Alrighty, let's see. What do we got going on here? Over here. We got, we're started off with, let's go with the euro unless someone has a question. Any questions out there? Fire away. We can start right off with, why is the sky blue? Or why is the euro up? Choose your weapon. Let's see. That is NQs. Let's go to, there it is right there. And you can see the euro went to a daily sell a few days ago, I guess it is. Do we have it right on the sheet? Let's double check. Yes, we do. 3 days in a sell there. Okay. Didn't click the wrong number. Sometimes when I'm putting the numbers in and I do a number and then I use tab or something like that and I'm trying to move instead of using the mouse, it doesn't move and I end up knocking out one number and adding another number. And that's what that's part of my problems. Also, I can be sloppy too. So we're all human. All right, and so there you see it. It's zipping along at a very low rate, just bouncing. And are we doing anything dangerously here? 120. Let's see. Do we have? We don't even have the weekly sell in there. Where's the weekly sell? Let's take a look at that. It's like we never got the euro weekly sell in there. It's 111.29. Let's put that in there. And where are we? 112. Okay, so no major shakes there. 29. Where's it? Right there. There we go. And so that is what's going on there. It doesn't look like it's any real damages. So we've been kind of in a neutral state for the last couple of days because why? Traders? Anybody can raise their hand and say why. No? No takers? We'll give you a few more seconds. We're just going to look at the weekly there. You can see right there. Go to J4X. What's going on there? There we go. There we go. You can see the white line's been moving up, just like right there. Our white line is moving up right there. And ours is getting ready to penetrate the zero line. And you can see the weekly's been, maybe we should make this a little bit bigger. That would answer the question I asked. The reason why, there it is. ECB maybe? No. Go on, Christian. Hey, how you doing? No, because we're in a weekly buy, so you can't take the daily sell. All you can do is take profits off of it from the gains of previous times. Let's make that really, really thick. Like that. How's that? Let's do that. There we go. On the weekly. So no, you can't go short because it's in a weekly buy. The black line's above the zero line. The little green line right there is there. It's been in a weekly buy, so that's why we don't really play the short side there. You just take profits from the long, you know. In this case here, it was in and out twice. So it went into a buy here, went all the way up, and went into a sell there, and then went back into a buy, and then back into a sell. And, you know, it's not really going anywhere particular. So someone's taking profits from that nice move up from the 120 area. But not big enough sellers that they can change the trend of the week. So that's why. That's what happens when you raise your hand. And Kristen, thank you for raising your hand. So now, do we want to explore that ECB thing? They could be propping it up. That's true. You know, central banks. Someone texted me. Oh, I know what it was. A friend of mine this morning texted me like at 4:30. And let me read it. And I'll read my response back. Where is it? I must have trashed it already, but here it is. I'll go into the trash and find it. And there it is. He labeled it Fed Day. Boston Fed at 10:15 today. Fed Vice Chair at lunchtime today at noon. And Powell speaks again at 1 o'clock. And so my response was, what was my response? My response was, Fed day, every day. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And it's ECB day every day. These central banks are the buyer of last resort. They are the players. They are involved day in and day out, doing whatever they do. That they do their thing, you know. Let's see, new data shows rebound, but businesses remain cautious. So what number came out this morning that everybody's excited about? Let's see. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up over 300 points. It's been climbing, but then we have a triple witching today. Triple expiration, that's what the witching stands for. Expiration. And so what happens at the opening of trading on the exchange hours, the stock index futures expire. They're a cash delivery. And their options expire. And so that's at right at the end of the webinar. And then at the close of the bell today, the stock options and index options expire, and the stock options take delivery of stock, and the stock indexes take cash, so it doesn't matter. And there is 1.8, almost $2 trillion expiring over the next week, and most of it is today. And I think there's another 60. I think it's 1.8 today, and then there's 67 billion between now and the end of the quarter, which is the following week. So that's pretty hot stuff you got going on there. You know, that's really kicking it. So that's what the action is today. New data shows rebound. Okay, yeah, but what was the data? Let me go take a look and see. Let's see if we can get it up on Dukascopy here. Let's see what the data was. So I think it's under news, right? Market news at live economic calendar. And the answer to that is, let's see, what came out today? What came out today? If anybody knows, oh, U.S. Commerce Department Bureau. Labor numbers came out today? No. They had, labor numbers yesterday. Let's see. Not a day ahead. Today. Anyway, if anybody knows what it was, just shout it out. We'll speculate on there. What's that? What's the nice one? What did you like about that? The news that I gave you? Yeah, Doc is paying attention most of the time. He's enthralled. I hate to get caught in cross currents of, you know, Janos. Like I always say that, and Janos hasn't done it yet. He hasn't updated his how to trade financial news. At this point, it's like stand it aside, stay away, or trade it with binary options. Take your choice. That's pretty much it, because it's Crazyville for about a minute and a half with no follow through. That's usually the way everything seems to work anymore with economic numbers. So it's like a very short half-life and a big spiky action, and then boom, it's done. And so that's why I like the binary options to use. You know, trade that whole minute, let it expire. All right. Where are we at now? What else we got going on here? I guess that's about it for that. Let's get rid of that. And you can see the euro trying to perk up a little bit, but still down on the day. All right, let's go over to cable. Cable. Right there. GBP USD. And the answer to that one is it's doing that thing it does. It looks like it's down also. And I think it went after the weekly sell number, didn't it? 2342. And let's see. Right there. You see it's trying to turn up. And you can see it over on the spready sheet right there. And the low today is today's low? Let's move that. I found I could move that. Isn't that cool? Put it right there. Today's low is 23.60, so missed it by about 18 pips. You can see the white line is trying to really turn up. You can see ours is not doing too well. Actually, it should be white, not black, but that black line is not turning up. And you can see we've got lots of red dots, but really have only fallen, what, about 150 pips out of all that. Not a lot of conviction there. Oh, that's a weekly chart. No wonder that doesn't make any sense. Ding, I just heard a ding. Ding, 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 ding. Let's see, what is that? That is... okay. And see it now on Facebook. How nice. So, you can see there, it's just marching its way down. And like I said, the low is like 60 something. Right there. Low is 60, yeah, 60. So, let's see. Hey, Robin. Talking about the quant. Yes, right there. There's the quant. You can see it, just kind of marching along on the south side there. You know, it's a. I guess you could say it's a really low impact week in some ways. In others, we have seen the euro and the GBP and so forth starting to roll over in here, but I don't really have a lot of confidence that there's much more than just a trading range that's bouncing back and forth, as you can see on J4X there. So, and you can see our quant keeps you on the right direction almost 9 out of 10 times, just a little underneath 9 out of 10 times. So you can see here it's in a weekly buy. It may get into that weekly sell by the end of the day. And you can see the daily has been telling us that after the green dot disappeared and we went to red, said don't be long anymore, and you can take your profits. Didn't say to get short, just told you that it was trying to go down. That's all. They didn't have the tea? Oh, no, I got that. Yeah, I got it there. Black tea? Oh, maybe. Yeah, I saw it there. Oh, where'd you get that? You think Acme? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Oh, cool. Thanks. Money in the bag. I like that. I'll just wear my bandana. I'll look like a bandit.
No, I got it at
Acme?
I'm gonna take this with me.
Yeah. That was we were being sued by them for years. No, Tetley. Yeah, because they were battling with us over the tea bag. Yeah. No, they walked away from us in the end, but the lawsuit went on for like 6-7 years. Alrighty, I'm back again, traders. So, let's see, where do I leave off? Oh, yes. Chicago Quant Technologies right there. Look at that dive down, you know. But, again, it looks like it's all trapped in a range. When we make this bigger, it just looks like some type of sideways range with the, I guess, adjusting for, I mean, I don't even know what it's adjusting for. Adjusting for world flow, you know, the flow of supply and demand. I guess that's the best way of looking at it. Let me think. I saw something, now that we're talking about world flow. They had a meeting in Shanghai yesterday. I guess it was yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday. There's a couple of Chinese stories out that are interesting that deal with the currencies. The first one was, let me find the first one. The first one is, where is it at? It was very interesting. The Beijing sounds alarm about dollar reserve status. And let's see if we can play that one up. Let's open that up right there. And so I guess it's the in Beijing sounds alarm. It was there was a conference in Shanghai, and I guess that was over the last couple days. Let's see if we can find that. A speech at the Luzhi Forum in Shanghai. and I guess the finance minister of communist China. What's his name? Oh, Chinese. If clearly this is on minds of some senior Chinese officials. Go Shuqing, chairman of the China Banking and Insurance Regulatory Commission, delivered a strong warning on the U.S. currency this week. And so I thought that was interesting. You know, uh, I don't think we don't have a choice about being the I don't know why he keeps on talking that way. It's like he doesn't understand finance or something. I don't get it. We don't have a choice. America doesn't have a choice about being the world reserve currency. We're just stuck with it. Trust me. And so, that's pretty much where we're at with that. And no one can handle it. And I guess if someone could, China wouldn't have almost $1 trillion invested in treasury bonds here, parked in the bank. I mean, if they were that concerned about the world reserve currency, you would think they would move that. I mean, what other country do they have $1 trillion in? What other country do they have a half a trillion dollars invested in? I'm not sure how much they have in the European Union at the in the ECB, but I last I saw it was about a quarter of a billion, trillion. I'm sorry, a quarter of a trillion. So how come they talk it but they don't walk it? That's the thing that always confuses me. Is that why do they say these things more than just to stir things up? I mean, they're not helping the financial markets by saying this stuff. They're not helping understanding the plight of the rest of the world. So I don't understand why they're always mumbling this stuff. There was the one before this minister did the same thing, and they don't. And they are talking about like they think they. I know I had reason I'm bringing this up is I mentioned this in the webinar 2 days ago. They about the China trying to be the world reserve currency. Their currency only trades less than 1% of world trading in the world. Commerce and goods and so forth. I mean, what what's their malfunction? I guess because they're communists, they have no idea. They don't understand economics. That's the only thing I can figure out. They always have this strange twist, and it just seems odd to me. I mean, I can't even get a one up on this thing. I mean, really. I mean, I watched the Turkish lira and the was it the South African rand, and I watched the ruble. But how come the Chinese can't even get a currency that competes with any of these? I mean, the ruble outtrades the Chinese currency. The Turkish lira outtrades the Chinese currency. The South African rand outtrades it. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it's like that old saying: "Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house." It just seems crazy to me. So anyway, that's where we are. I thought that was really interesting. Then the second one was a really interesting positive economic story out of China. They said that they are 87% behind buying what they pledged to buy in phase one of the trade deal. But they said it plans to step up and import. So they're talking about buying soybeans and corn and ethanol and whatever else they're going to be buying. They blamed the corona disruption, and they said they will be stepping up and buying. And I know we have been seeing the you can see it here. That was a nice confirmation. And then where is it at? Let's see. Let's go to the spreadsheet. You can see it on the spreadsheet. Corn's in 3 weeks in a weekly buy there, and soybeans are 3 weeks in a weekly buy. So obviously, again, always, this is the quantitative world for us. We follow the markets through quantitative analysis. And so, when you try to figure out the growing and who's buying and all this other stuff, it's really not worth it solely because we're ahead of the curve with our quantitative. So 3 weeks ago, let's put it up on here. I don't think it went too far in any particular way, but let's see, attached. Let's see, oh, wrong one. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go back to this one. Let's see where corn is right now. I don't think it's exploding, but it has been firmer, that's for sure. And let's see. There's soybeans. So let's put up the soybeans real quick. And you can see that it's been climbing. This will be the 4th week today. So it'll be 4 full weeks in a weekly buy. Now, everybody knows that there's 20 days in 4 weeks, right? So there's 5 days right to there. There's 10 days right to there. There's 15 days right to there, and there's 20 days back to here. So basically, we've been in buying. The math, the quant again. Why we follow quantitative analysis, and we don't get locked into the crazy, of the old fundamentals that don't fit in a modern market. They were great before 1975, but after 1975 going into 76, the zero-sum factor is gone. Somebody walks in and buys 1,000 bushels of corn. It doesn't mean that they're getting long. They could be actually closing out, a short, or they could be getting short. Maybe they're short so many calls that they need to buy some beans just to cover that. That type of thing. That's what it's all about. Basically, same thing with the put side. They could go in and buy 1,000 puts. Doesn't mean that they're bears. It just means that they are using puts to hedge whatever they're long. And so that's why fundamentals, the simplest fundamental, used to be, if someone came into a crowd before 1975 and bought, chances were they were buying to get long or they were buying to close out a short. And either way, it was doing the same exact thing to the finite universe of that particular product. After 1976, that didn't exist anymore. So that went on for hundreds of years, at least all the way until 1839 here, or 30. I think they outlawed listed options in the United States in 1834 or 35. And so, that was the realm of it all. And now we're in a world since 1976 where that doesn't fit. And now with quantitative easing, oh, forget it. Or as they would say in the old neighborhood, forget about it. And so, basically, that doesn't mean a thing anymore. So that finite universe that everybody's used to doesn't exist. And so you have to follow the markets through a quantitative way. And that's what we do here. All right, off my soapbox. Back to the markets. Anybody have a question? Fire it out. Yesterday, what did we have fun with yesterday? We were talking about, what were we talking about? November, how to deal with October, December, how to trade the markets for that now. Where's 54? Where are you hiding, 54? Did you go walkabout? Do Canadians go walkabout? Or is that a Commonwealth thing? All right, and then you can see here on the, let's see, that's the soybeans. Let's see where the corn is. There, right there. There's July corn. And she's doing pretty much the same thing. She's been in a buy back in here. And she's gone from, let's see, so it would be one. Oh, we have to fix that. Let's fix that. Format instrument. Double click there. The setting is off. I can see that. So it's putting a gap in every 5 days. There she comes. There she blows like the big great white whale. Settings and go to default. There we go. Ta-da! Ta-da-da-da! Close. There we go. And so we've been in a buy. So that'll be, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've been in a buy since down in here, around the 320 area. And where are we trading now? 330s with a high of some instant gratification all the way up to almost 335. 330.475. So $15 up move. Not a big move, but they knew the pressure was coming. There you are. Do Canadians really go walkabout? I mean, is that just a Aussies. Did you ever get those option prices we talked about yesterday? Well, we will delve into that somewheres over the next couple days of trading days. That is, we're not doing a Saturday webinar. Let's see. So that's where we are with those two products, and it fits the news. It came out in the news today, and it's been going on. The front runners knew that they were going to start buying this stuff a couple weeks ago, and that's why we do quantitative trading. All right. Let's zip diddy doo dah back to one of our favorites, and that's why I really do follow the Turkish lira, and we don't really show the other two, but it's because it's the only way I can really take serious the Chinese currency. I mean, they're pretty much the same when it comes to their competency of economics. So that is what it is. All right, and so you can see here. Turkish lira has been moving up. Where are we at now? I think it's getting crazy, right? Turkish lira, line 17, right? There it is. It's 11 days now in a buy. And it's 28 weeks, and it doesn't look like it's going to close below the 79. Look at 85 there. Let's see if we can make this a little bigger. You can see it's a little down today, or just unchanged. You can see that white line, though, is trying to dash all the way up to the top. And what else we can say about that? Let's see if we can find dollar against the there's the rand, there's Turkish lira. Let's see, and then I don't even there it is. There's the Chinese yuan, which is fixed at 7 forever. Fixed at 7 forever. Even look at that. The high is like 7.22. I mean, it's like, I mean, really, it's when you go into like a weekly thing or a monthly thing. I mean, it really doesn't go anywhere. It's in the 7s. It's always in the 7s. I mean, everybody else's currency can march around. It just shows you how fixed it is. Let's see. Did a strategy you may not like. It's not that I dislike these things. Look at this. Oh, the thing has been bouncing back. I went from the 6s to the 7s. So that's the action of it for like, how long is that? That's going back to 2012. 6 to 7. But somehow or another, none of the other currencies can do anything like that. I mean, let's take a look at the Turkish lira of the same time period. All right, let's see what you did. It's not that I might not like it or like it. Now look at that. That has gone from the 1s to the 7s. Let's see what the South African rand is doing. Let's see. Let's read the rest of it. Like it much. I know, but is you don't have to defend yourself. A trade is a trade. For every buyer, there's a seller. Okay, so now this thing has gone from, what is that, like 7 and change, right? All the way up to, what is that all about? Oh, we got the wrong thing there. So it's gone from 6 all the way up to almost 17. So you can see 18 high, okay? So 19 high. So it's tripled in value. But somehow or another, the Chinese currency only moves up a handle because, again, the South African rand outtrades it every day in the world markets. Okay, so let's finish off 54 here. Let's see what that is. But it's part of my strong dollar bias. Okay, there's no doubt about that one. We know the dollar's strong, so you're all right there. I know what you're saying. You're okay. I bought. Let's see. What did you buy? Let me put my glasses on for this. All right. So bias bought 2 lots of dollar yen calls. Interesting. The 110s and the 112s, and what did you sell against it? Okay. November 27 paid for it by selling one of the 103 puts. Well, you know what we call that? That's a synthetic long. That's all that is. So you're synthetically long. and with a very low delta. Yeah. Yeah, when you buy call and sell put, you're synthetically long. And so, and you have room. What you can do is you can go sell like the 115 or 16 calls against those longs. And then you could go sell, say, like the 99 puts or something like that. You probably have it on all for the same price. How do you like that one? How do you like those apples? Yeah, that's what we refer to as a synthetic long. So that's all right. Hey, look, there's got to be. There is no one way. As much as I can be, 8.5 out of 10 right, there is no one way to trade. I mean, there's many different ways to trade, many different concepts. And so you're getting long now. We talked about it yesterday about the idea of looking for what is it? A way of possibly grabbing volatility. You know, so that's one way of grabbing volatility. That's for sure. Let's see what else we got here. So no, it's not that I would like it or not like it. It's just it's your strategy. You want to be long. You want to be long in a very low, painless way. Let's see. Did not pay much though. Doc, selling those 115 calls. Would you pay for the 110s and the 112s? I can go take a look here. Let's see if we can find it here. See what the values are like. Let's see. Right there. We must have put it in here. There it is. And they were November. So, and that's the. So let's see. 93 is the one. What is that? That's the 107s. So 90. What would 90 be? That would be the 110s. Let's see. No, I said. So I guess the 85s. So did you pay like around 80 something for the calls? And let's see, and then 85 and 87, say. Did you pay between 70 and 85 for the calls? What you pay for the calls on average? I paid $20,000. Yeah, but how many do you have? We're trying to figure out the individual price. And are they the future options or the cash options? There's no cost to carry. There's no carry trade with the futures at this point. They're trading them almost at parity on the futures and the cash. So, like right now, I have the yen trading. Well, let's say the euro. It's easier because I can speak in European terms. The euro future in September is trading at 112.30. Like last is 30, and the euro itself is last at 112. The cash is 112.41 almost. 2 million. So it's at futures, right? Oh, cash options. Okay, it's probably. Okay, so let me see. I used to have those things in my head, but that's pretty much, that should be right around there. How many of them though? Oh, okay. So when you're buying cash options, they're not broken down in contracts. You just flat out buy that. Okay, so I can reverse that. Let me think. What is the I think it's 125,000. So it's like you bought almost like a 20 lot, like an 18 lot. Okay, so let me just double check that, but I think that's basically what it is. It's like you have an 18 lot on. Oh, wait a minute. We're not including is that included the puts, the 20,000 altogether? Did they put that in a bag? Do you get that in a bag or what? Or does it come in a box? Let's see. All right, let me find what that could be. All right, where am I? There we go. Okay. Now, markets, currencies, FX, and I think it's 125,000. Let's see if I can find the contract. I think that's what it is. It's 125,000. So like 10 of them would be 1.25 million, right? And so then another 7 of them, 7, 1.25. No, it's less. It's like 15 calls, or let's put it this way: it's 15 options. It's 15 options. And how much of the 20,000 is in puts, and how much of the 20,000 is in calls? I think you should sell something against it, really. I mean, I would hedge it off because by the time the volatility kicks in, we talked about this yesterday, good chances are you're just going to have decay. So you're going to reduce your decay enormously. And the worst that happens is you make money. Is that the worst that happens? No. The best, obviously the best that happens. The worst that happens is that you lose just a very little money because you sell calls against it. Doc, sorry, I'm misunderstanding you. It is the future, not the cash. Okay, so it's 1.25. It's I think it's 125,000. The contract is of currency. So, and I forget what the yen is now. Let me see if I can find the yen future. This is yen, so it's bigger. It's definitely bigger. I forget how many yen it is. I will look it up. Contract specification. I remember the yen was like 10 times bigger. Let's see. Option global Globex options. Let's see. Let's see there. Yeah, I have to. I think the contract itself, it's based off of the futures contract. So, figure out how much is puts. Is there $10,000 worth of puts and $10,000 worth of calls? Is that how that's working? I would, consider selling the out of the money calls. No, they go 1 million lot. Okay, 1 million lot. I can't remember. I remember that it was a really weird size. So in other words, Swiss franc, British pound, and the euro, and the old Deutschmark and so forth, they were all 125,000, and then each contract was of currency, and so then the yen might have been 1.2 million or something like that. It was something really weird. It was like because it was such a bigger animal, so. How much is in the put side out of the 20? 1,000? 5,000? 10,000? And after the webinar, somewhere over the weekend, I'll look and see. I'll get this all figured out. $2 million worth. That's why it'd be good to know if you have $10,000 worth of call and $10,000. Let's see. But selling the calls, the 115s literally pays nothing. The 115s. Let's see. The 115s should be 85, right? So the 85 calls in yen. Let me just take a look at that. The 85 calls in yen. That matches up to the 115s, which should pay 84, right? And then the 12s should be the 12s. What would be the 12s? The 112s divided by 100 or subtracted from 100 is 88. So the 88 calls. No, how do we do this? 112s. Wait a minute. 112. If you have the 112 calls, that's 88. So let's see what they look like here. Yeah, so they're like 50, 60 or 60 pips. Look. If you're buying the 112s and the one, would you buy the 112s and the one? Let me write this down. 112s and 113s, 110s and 112s. Yeah, so 110s is 90. All right, so the 90 call is 36. Something's wrong there. What is that? 90 call is 36. How can that be 36? And so, oh, I see what you're saying. So maybe, so the other could be like 21 or something like that, or like 18. Yeah, but it's gonna help your decay rate. Take a look at silver. Sure, I'll look at silver. Selling the 103 put covers the cost of the two calls. Well, that's good. That's a mathematical thing that helps. So the 110s and the cover the 83s. Interesting. Okay. Right. Okay. So you'd have to buy a put to hedge that, because right now you're just synthetically long. But you and you know what's good is that the put decay rate will probably cover most of the decay on your longs, since it's equal in quantity. All right, Robin wants to see silver. Let's see what silver looks like here. I saw it went into a daily sell yesterday, and now it's jumping back up. 1762. Sounds like in a good year. That was a good year. And let's see what it looks like on quant. Oh wait, it hasn't filled in yet here. Yeah, let's put it up on the quant side. Right there, and there's the quant, and that's the monthly we have up there right now. Can you imagine the Chinese yuan has moved up one handle? That's it, over the same time period that everybody else has doubled and tripled. That's they couldn't handle being the world reserve currency. They would be blown out in a heartbeat. It would just blow them out. They wouldn't be able to handle that. There it is there, 62. And what's the futures doing? The futures trading at 80. So it's 18 pip carry. You can see it's back over. We've got a red and green dot kicking out again. And we're just on the edge of the weekly, right? Where's the weekly? There it is. We're 11 weeks in a weekly buy right there. Let's go find our weekly sell number. Where's our weekly sell number? You know, 54, I'm going to take that a little bit more apart and see what the prices should be. Because now that you told me that the puts covered the calls, I can figure out what they sold you them for. So that'll be fine. It's just a mathematical game for me to do. Other people watch sports. Other people read comic books. Well, I read comic books too. But, I mean, it's just fun for me to do. All right, so silver, the weekly sell number is, interesting, we're right on the edge, 1756. 1756 is the weekly sell. 1756. 1756 right there. All right. And we'll see how that holds up. Now, what else we got going on here? Let's see what it looks like in J4X. You can see it's doing the bounces out of here, trying to lift up again. And what else do we say about that? Wow, it's kind of flattish too in there, really. They don't love it, they don't hate it. You know, it's just firm, you know. And we've been 11 weeks in a weekly buy. I mean, 11 weeks. You know, when you go look at J4X, 11 times 5 is 55. So you count back 55 bars. It's like, 5, 10, 15, 20, right there, right? 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, right there, the little white one. 45 right in here. And then right in here somewhere was the weekly buy number. Look how the way J4X had roared right from the bottom out of that for the weekly buy. Roared. Wow. Like a lion. And went from, this is a daily chart, right? Oh, God, it came from the 12s. So we went from the 12s to the 18s in a weekly buy. That's cool, huh? So, how's that? And that's a pretty good move, Robin? That's rock and roll. Hell, you can't even see it on the chart, can you? We don't even have a bar there. Oh, I bet we do. It's just so far back. There it is. There it is. Oh, my goo. It's been in a buy since like back in there. Oh man. So let's see. That's 2, 4, 6. Is that right? No, wait a minute. Counting wrong. 2 and 4 and 6 and 8 and 10 and 11. This is going to be the 12th week. So it's 60 little bars back. Probably like, so right in here somewhere. Right around where the red, probably right where the red green is. That's probably where it actually was the number itself. The red green. The daily I don't think that the weekly and the daily kind of spread a little differently. Like I think you can go like, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it does match up. So it was right here in that down trough right there. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'm going to take that apart. That could be fun. Doc, many thanks. You made me think totally different than I used to for the last 10 years. You're going to call me Mr. Asset? Hey, I'm the shroom, maybe. I'm the shroom. And next thing you know, we'll be doing a sweat lodge. Really, you're really impact on my trading and now, do I got to send the check again this month? Damn. You're good. I'll send you the check again. Since I just started listening to you 2 months ago. Let's see, what is it? You really impact on my trading and phenomenal. Cool. Let's see. That's no problem. Looks like an up flag forming in the daily bar chart. Oh, in the silver? So yes, look at that. The resting. Well, the whole thing. You know, and it has that. You got the old classic 3 peaks in a dome, right? Anybody out there? I know I've talked about this throughout the years and I've done examples of it. The 3 peaks in a dome. The chairman of the Market Technicians Association, you know, Charlie Kirkpatrick. Charlie always talks about the 3 peaks in a dome. That's one of his favorite patterns. He's been like head of the whole gig for so long. He took over for, I think Robert Prechter held on for 2 years and said, I can't handle this job. And then Bollinger refused to do it. And Charlie keeps on. He's been chairman off and on now for like, I don't know, 2 decades, if not more, 3 decades, off and on. And every time no one will take the job, he takes it. And he talks about 3 peaks in a dome. So that'd be like the first peak. That'd be the second peak. There's the third peak. And then, but the problem with the third peak is normally when you have a peak and then you get the ebb and flow, you usually fall back to here. In this case, this one didn't. And now it's building the dome. And then what it'll do is it'll do a pop-up in here and possibly take out this high and then come back all the way down to here, down into the 15s again. That would be 3 peaks in a dome. We'll see if that actually happens. With the central banks using this product as a surrogate for currency, anything is possible. I mean, think about it. How did they get silver down below $12? You know, really. I mean, honestly, how did they get it down to below $12? I mean, how did they get it below $15? What a craziness that was. I mean, in a time of crazy, right, with the coronavirus, shouldn't that be $24, not $12? I mean, really. I mean, how many times fundamentals have said to me this, and fundamentals have been wrong? And you know, we were in a weekly sell and a daily sell, and you know, the product fell from like 17 to 12 or 11 or some crazy thing. You know, so I mean, honestly, is that nuts or what? So yeah, Robin, I see that flag too, and that could mean that this is not a 3 peaks in a dome, and it's going to go set up a new move. Maybe it's going to go to the 20s finally. Wouldn't it be nice to see it get up into this area here? We've been in a weekly buy for 11 weeks, and it's almost doubled in price. I mean, not double, but that would be nice. 25. That would be really cool. We haven't seen something like, what's the high there? The high there is 19. It can't even get through the 20s of late. I mean, you know, it's been tough. It's been very tough. Let's take a look at a weekly chart. That's the same thing with gold in the dollar term. You know, look at that. Last time this thing was in the 20s was in 2012. How about there? What was that? Okay, was that in 2016 maybe? 2016. looks like it got to $20. You can see that $21, but 25. Not since it ran all the way up. But as long as we're in weekly buys, we have to believe in it, And when we get into daily buys to match it up, it's usually a pretty safe trade, As anything can be a safe trade, that can be. With our math, you got a almost a better than 8 out of 10 or almost 9 out of 10 chance of being right. So, and if you do the right vehicle, do it the right way, you reduce your risk enormously. Just the way 54 is doing. So, I am sending that check. Nice. We'll have to do something for you for saying such nice things, Let me think. What else we got going on here? All right, so that's that. Let's see what the carry trade looks like. Let's go to gold. Carry trade started off again kind of small this week, right? It was like $3 or $4? We were talking about it on Monday, and then they find a way to take it up throughout the week again. Not sure what that's all about, but there's gold. Let's see what they're doing there. Now it's trading about 1734 in the spot. Okay, and let's see where the futures. The futures are trading at 44. So it's $10 carry trade right there. We climbed back into the daily buy, and we're obviously looks like we're gonna close in the weekly buy. You can see it's at 26 there, and the black line. We should have the black line on there too. Let's see if we can do that. Like that. There we are. So that's at 52. So they're both, it's in a weekly buy, right? Yeah. So it's going to stay, it may stay in the weekly buy, and it's flirting around. I think the weekly sell number is like really close by. It's like 31 or something like that. What is it? Goldie, where are you? Where's your weekly sell number? I think it's 8. No, that's not it. Yeah, it's like 31 on the future. So it's holding up 1731. Let's just throw that on the spreadsheet while we got it there. Wow. So, C54 says, Doc, your strategy application for euro, dollar, and GBP is not easy. I will work on it over the week and on Monday. Okay. I'm gonna look at. You mean you want to do the same thing in those things too as the yen, or I'm gonna figure out what exactly you have on, figure out the prices of them, and then figure out what you might want to sell against it or buy against it, and see if it if you can hedge that and not be totally naked. You're really naked long. It's just at a very low delta, So the only thing you have right now pressuring you is your decay. If you can negate the decay by 85-90% or 95%, that would be a good gig, because we both think that things are going to get hot and heavy because of the election, like they did last time with the Trumpy. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Let me think. What else is there to be said about that? And then the metals, are a currency, and so what we're really doing is when we look at euros and we look at cable and all like that, we're really looking at currencies when we look at the metals in the United States against the dollar. When it comes to the metals outside the United States, in other currencies, I think they're all like at record highs. Not silver, of course, but gold is easily like through cable and through. It's been through record highs just like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago and things like that. 5 weeks ago. The risk is if I'm wrong and yen drops to 98. 98. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, that makes sense. Yeah. So you would, if your risk is at 98, I'm going to figure out the exact strike price they put together for you. Oh, well, you already know it. The 103s. Yeah. So, I guess what it comes down to is you could do for that one. If you want to be synthetically long still, you could always go buy a put that's cheaper underneath it, and then go sell calls further up and make them offset each other price wise. In other words, put them on for free like you did the synthetic long. So you put the synthetic hedge at the same price tag, and that's what you would do there. So that's what Robin. That's where it's at with the metals. I mean, when it's delineated or in dollar terms, it's just a currency. When it's in other foreign currencies, it's a metal again. It really is, because you can see it's trading at record highs in a lot of places. 80 different currencies have gold at all-time highs or in all-time territories, and so compared to us in the States here, what are we, $250 off of it or something like that? You are smart, Doc. Really smart. We'll do that. The compliments keep on coming in. Thank goodness I am a stable individual. Thank you, 54 again. I'm glad you're liking the game. Yeah, it's just I mean, that's the way we traded for decades. I mean, so it's to me it's like, I have this one partner I've had off and on throughout the years. He's considered like the number one option guy on Wall Street. And every time, we've had different projects we do together, different things we try to get going, and we had the same mentor. And so when we talk, he always says, "You're the smartest options trader." He says the same thing. He talks the same way you do. It's like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I come up with ideas. I'm good. I can be good. This is true. Like I said yesterday, when I am not fueling the plane and maintenancing the plane and not loading the munitions in the plane, and I'm just flying the plane, I can be Top Gun. There's no doubt about that. But when you're doing all those other things, hell, I can be just as screwed up as the rest of us. So, all right, let's see, where are we at now? Now, brown cow. We're getting to the end, aren't we? What should we call today's webinar? Oh, I know. I appreciate it. I do. I believe you do mean it. And, and I trust you. You're an engineer. So I know you're not going to just throw words out there for the sake of throwing words out there. I know that. You're a man of science. So I know that. What's that? 54. Yeah. Yeah. And you too, Robin. So Robin's been a trader as long as I have. Traded on the exchange floors together. Yeah, so that's the way I think you have to look at the metals. You have to look at silver and the rest of them. If you're looking at it domestically, it's a currency. If you're looking at it foreignly, it's a metal. And so, I mean, how can you explain silver down at $12 when the world economy is collapsing? That's like, that's like a 100. I mean, if you told anybody, oh yeah, the whole world, the Dow is dropping 1,000 points at a day and 2,000 points and bouncing around, and oh yeah, where do you think silver will be? Oh, $80, $75. Take out all-time highs, not $12 an ounce. So, all right, I got to come up with a title for this thing. So we're gonna say, everybody have a safe and smart weekend. And we'll play this game again on Monday. So this is Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Ooh.